What was it that stuck out to you the most out of all the statistics? Anything?
So with the spreadsheet, you can filter everything. So as we know in ASFX, the people that are involved in the group, we have parameters we follow, and those parameters affect the outcome. So obviously this is how we grade our setups.
Right.
So trending, counter trend, we can trade both ways, but we know trading against the trend is obviously less probable. So you can filter them out. So you can get rid of counter trend, and then you'll just have all trending markets.
Okay.
Coming forward into that, you can have, we know we have the swapping liquid 50s, perfect L50, that affects the trade outcome. You can filter, I don't personally trade swapping the L50s, so you can get rid of that.
So what you can do here is really filter down like the checklist of questions that we ask ourselves, and then you can see what would be the highest probability trades, right? Yeah. So if you were to set this up like an A setup, what are you finding with like A setups in the back testing?
So I think a lot that's happened in 2020, and a lot of the ASFX members have kind of questioned this, is an overextended candle.
For sure.
We know from being involved in the market and watching how the market reacts to overextended candles, they come back down. So you can see on the left, we have a 61.9% win rate now, trading perfect L50 and trading full trending market on the
But also a 26% loss rate too.
Exactly. So pay attention to that as well. So when you get rid of overextended candles, you go from a 61 to a 68.2%, but also a 17.8% loss.
Now, is that because you're adding more wins and more break evens? Is that what's happening?
Exactly. Because we're getting a bigger push now. You're locked. Because also, just another thing to mention, the way I've tested this is price is pretty much stopping. I'm locking my stop at 1R and taking 50% off at 1.5R. So that affects, that's kind of how I manage my trades. And that's just kind of how I'm back testing it to kind of just get a very rough figure. So these results can be kind of tailored to how you want to test it. And that's all up to you.
So let me give you another variable. Like for the, were you about to take the Asian range away?
Yeah. So you take the Asia range. So this would be like, and it goes up to 75.6% win rate. So this is kind of, I would say a B setup, because you got to remember with divergence and RSI, that is still one knock I'm having in there.
Okay.
Now,
you're saying, hold on. Wait, don't go too fast. So you're saying with one knock, we've now increased. So we went from trading swapping liquid 50s.
Yeah.
Now cutting those swapping liquid 50s out. We've now cut out trades that are just inside the Asian range. So now we're looking at trades that already are broken out of the range. And even if there's divergence present potentially on some of them, you're still looking at a 75% win rate and only a 12% loss rate.
Exactly.
So dude, if you take the divergence out, what are you seeing? Like 90% win rate? It's probably crazy.
Well, no, because I'm locking my stop, and because obviously it's going to dramatically reduce the amount of trade sample size.
True. Oh, wow. Wow. Look at that. That looks like that looks like my trading over the last few months. For real.
This would be your A+ setup. This is like when all stars align.
Yes.
You don't really see this very often, especially in 2020 with everything going on. There's always something conflicting. There's always been a news event, breaking news.
For sure.
So it's been hard to kind of...
what pairs are those on?
So coming over, it's Euro JPY, GBP USD, Euro Aussie, and Euro CAD. So you got a few there. And mind you, this whole sample size is over about 230 trades so far.
You know what I noticed too right here? A lot of shorts.
Yeah.
Okay. And I also notice all of it is 2 candle formations. 2 candle formations come after a shift candle.
Shift candle. Exactly.
So really what you're looking at here is like a breakout, a pullback, a retest, so to speak, and you're trading that formation in that direction of trend.
Exactly.
So then those are my favorite trades because you know where your stop level is. They're so easy to read. What are you doing with the higher time frames in this?
So I actually haven't. So this is another thing I haven't, because with TradingView, when you go back so far, as soon as you jump up to the 1 hour, there's no longer 15-minute data. So it chucks you right back to the current day. So what I'm still going to, it's easier for me to go back on the 1 hour to these dates because I've tested it from the 1st of the 1st, 2019.
Got it.
And I think with that sample size, going back on the 1 hour, it's only like, it's not many bars away because you got so much candle information in the 1 hour.
Sure.
So higher time frame bias, definitely from just recent back testing I've done, helps a lot. And I've also got a spot in here as well. So I've got higher time frame confluence and I'm just using the 1 hour.
Makes
So if
sense.
I can match the 15-minute EMAs in trend and the 15-minute, the 1 hour TDI in trend that's complementing the 15-minute, that just from personal experience has a massive outcome as well. So that's something I'm going to add into the back testing.
No, I think that makes perfect sense. With this, let's go back real quick. Can you add the divergence in? Let's get some more trade sample size back. So let's say there is divergence present. Now, with a sample size here, how many trades are we looking at?
I'm going to say about 40.
40, 41.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
So if now, and that's throughout a year, basically 40 trades throughout the year.
Throughout the whole year, exactly.
And of course, this is only on a few currency pairs, right? We're looking at 4 pairs, 5 pairs in total. So
you're looking at 4 pairs.
Even at that point, quick math, let's say you do 40 trades a year, 40, how many per month would that be? A little less than 4, right?
A little less than 4, yeah. So 1 a week, roughly.
Roughly 1 a week. I mean, that does line up very similarly to.
And you've got to remember, this is just one system.
That's what I'm saying. So that's just the A1, only on a few pairs. So even at that point, though, I guess where I was trying to get with that is like, you're not getting a ton of trades. So what it's showing me is like, if you can actually be very selective and get a lot of these columns in the spreadsheet to fit what a good trade is, no divergence, no overextended candle, you're going to put yourself in a high probability winning scenario, it seems like.
100%.
What's the risk reward that you were looking at in the markups? Were you only marking up trades that could go 3R, or were you marking up trades that could go 1R potentially too?
I did. So what I did is, you can see I did 15 pips. So I wanted to find the average mover.
Okay.
And then I went 1R, 2R, 3R, 4R, 5R. And then I measured the peak. So how far can we get runners?
Wow.
Depending on the parameters.
Okay.
And I forgot to get the averages on there, but you can see some pairs were going like at the end were like 8R plus 6.5R.
Wow.
So obviously the way we trade, we like to leave a little bit of our position in, and we kind of scale out at our multiples.
Yep.
So, you know, with your Euro CAD trade yesterday, like exact example, like if you're going to take targets at like 2R and then be out of the trade, that could just, especially if it's nowhere near the average daily range, you could just ride that all the way up.
You're just leaving money on the table.
Exactly.
Yeah, but at the same time, you have to be conservative too. You can't be like, oh, this is going to be above ADR just because it was yesterday, so to speak. You know what I mean? So it's a balance.
Yeah,
maybe
exactly.
If you don't mind me asking you another question, with the you said the average winner. Do you have distance on how far the average A1 entry is going?
Yeah. So basically, I kind of measured it to 3R. So more or less, we're getting 2R out of the system.
Okay.
You can see that, but also again, you are getting 3R as well.
Now,
so that's why I've done the trading.
The reason that there's these dashes there, it's because it didn't go that far. Is that what I'm seeing?
Correct. Exactly. Okay. But there was no data for that that trade.
Got it. Yeah, you do see a lot of 2R. Every single one of them is basically going 2R, it looks like.
Yeah, pretty much.
3R.
Even without any of the parameters, you're still getting that 2R, but that's about where it ends.
Like so the reason I asked that is because I want to set you up to explain